Yeah, either that or let me ask you guys something. I got Ed on the phone. He thought it was 8 o'clock. He's 20 minutes away from being.
It doesn't.
Can we, can we move forward and have him stay on the phone with us? And I will introduce him, and then maybe by the time he gets home, then he can be on Zoom with us.
Well, just have him call. Paul, just have him call in 20 minutes and we can discuss the vote registration and other things while we wait on him.
Why don't you call us in 20 minutes when you get home? Are you gonna Zoom in? Have you figured out how to do that? Okay.
As long as he's got the email, he could just click on the link.
Okay, we'll be waiting for you. Yeah. We'll be waiting for you. We're going to discuss some other things. Hello?
Hmm?
Yeah. 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 So when you get home, just get on Zoom. We'll discuss some other things in the meantime. All right? Bye. Okay, sorry about that. He thought it was 8 o'clock. You know, on these Zoom things, Ken also thought it was 8 o'clock. So I think part of the email, if you read the times, there is some confusion about that. But do we want to discuss some other things prior to me making an introduction? I can make the introduction, which will take about, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes, and give it a little bit of history on how Ed Sahm's got to this point with us and where we are as a board with Ed Sahm's and the possibility of the restaurant. Or do you want to discuss some other things first?
Let's discuss other things first and we'll get those out of the way and then the introduction.
Okay.
If that sounds okay for everyone. Let's stand for
sounds
pledge of
good.
allegiance.
Yes.
Where's the flag, Paul? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
And to the
Republic,
and
stands
one nation,
one nation, God, indivisible, with liberty, justice for all.
Thank you. Thanks, Paul.
I have to go out and put this back in the stand. I'll be right back.
No. Okay, Ken, can you hear us and can we hear you?
Can you hear? I can hear you.
Okay, boat registration. Can you give us just 5 minutes of where you're at, where you've been, and where we're going?
Everything seems to be working just fine. I think we're up to about 80 boats, 80 stickers today. It really got. We've had some busy days. Other than Sunday, we only registered like 5. So as far as that goes, it's been running really pretty smoothly, having them all taken care of out of the office. We do have, I just had a schedule sent to me today that I will dissect. We're going to have the security guys starting Wednesday on the 1st, that is going to be stationed down at the marina to alert people if they have red stickers that they need to visit the office and get their stickers that they're not allowed to launch. They are going to be utilizing the intercom on the radio, so they on the out of the squad car, so they don't have interaction with anybody. And if somebody just flat refuses to follow the orders, then I've asked them to get their lot number off of their boat, and I'll deal with them myself.
I'd hate to be
I,
there
I,
if you're dealing with it.
I have not had a chance. He just sent it to me this evening. So I told him that if there is any open spots that he cannot fill because of their other jobs, then that's where I'll lean on some of the volunteers to help out and assist down there. So I will study that probably later on this evening or first thing in the morning. And then if there's any gaps that I need to help cover, I'll reach out to some of the people that offered to volunteer, or I'll do it myself.
Yeah, Ken, just reach out. Don't do it yourself.
Well, I mean, you know, if it's like a 2 or 3 hour window or something like that, and I'm so close to the marina, I don't mind going down there. I just want to make sure that we're not having people take advantage of the situation. It's not fair to the people that are trying to do their best under the circumstances to follow the rules, and then some take it upon themselves not to.
How are assessments doing?
Assessments are still coming in very strong. Matter of fact, they were getting hammered with so much mail today that they were having trouble keeping up with getting it all entered. So the assessments are coming in really strong.
Ken, is there any sense of the boat registration comparatively?
Compared to what, last year?
Yes.
Too early.
I'm not sure that I could fairly answer that question right now.
Okay.
Steve Hampton just joined the meeting. Can you hear us, Steve? Guess not.
Can you hear me, Paul?
Yes.
I can hear you.
Thank
yeah.
you. Thank
Yes,
you.
Steve still doesn't have his picture up, so he's still.
That's not a bad thing.
I just got a message saying he joined the meeting, but I don't see his picture. Steve, can you hear us?
I thought he was going to come in on phone, but looks like he's trying to come in on audio or video.
All right, let's move forward.
Just to let you know that I've been, for whatever reason, I've been booted off and I can't get back on, but I'm just using my phone to listen to the audio.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody else have anything as far as assessments, boat registrations, or anything at all they want to discuss while we're waiting on Ed?
Hey Ken, this is John Rady. If you need any help down checking registrations at the marina, you know, I'm just the next cove up. So, and my wife would probably be grateful for me to leave the house for a little bit. So,
well, I appreciate that, John.
I can go ahead and give you guys an update if everybody's been home this whole time and not been out. The marina finally has a roof.
Good.
Hey,
And it looks very nice. And as with all construction projects, there's always this or that there's a problem with. I would have to say that I'm very impressed with the people that work for Brandt on their consistency on trying to get things accomplished that the owners, who are represented by myself, have talked to them about almost on a daily basis, and the roof was one of the biggest contentions. However, the building has been dry for the last 2.5 weeks, even though we didn't have a roof on it. We now have a roof on it. Towards the end of this week, we will have the drywall will be finished. Towards the end of this week, the south patio slab stair pads will be poured. This new stairways, I don't know if you guys ever remember the original drawings on the staircases. They were fairly elaborate circular type metal staircases that were nixed because of problems with the sizes of them and I don't know. We couldn't do what we wanted to do. They had to be a straight staircase coming out and down. And we have chosen to forget the metal staircase situation and go towards a wood frame staircase, which is going to look fine. It's not going to be painted for 4 seasons, but it's going to look fine with the building, and it's going to save us some money. The exterior siding, by the end of this week and the beginning of next week, will be painted. It's already installed. All of the prep site concrete on the west side of the building will be installed this week. All the grading has been done. The grease trap is set in place. Also the concrete on the east side will be done next week. And at this point, we are in position
Idiot.
to set up the gas pumps upon direction from Ken Roselle. And that is all contingent on the fact that we can run an operation which is under governor's appointment right now. Basically, we really have we really can't go out there and pump gas until non-essential businesses are put back to work.
So gas stations are shut down now?
I'm sorry?
So gas stations are now shut down?
No, but the marina are pumping, are handling using the marina, or the pumping the gas there would require us to have employees out there on the lake, which is, I'm assuming that's not essential. I mean, if people of the lake can take their boats on a trailer up to BP and get gas, are we going to put our people out there pumping gas? Because they have to pump the gas. So that's your decision, I guess.
I mean, if it gives you anything, Crew Car Wash is going to open up on Friday because they are underneath the mechanical car maintenance blanket or whatever you want to call it. So they're going to be opening for business. So apparently we can just do whatever we want.
That fall into recreational boats?
I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying that a car wash can work its way into being a mechanical service.
I'd say whatever you guys want to do, it's fine with me. I think if we can get somebody to pump the gas that doesn't mind pumping gas and being a couple feet away from somebody bringing their boat in, I guess that's okay. I wouldn't want to be pumping the gas. But
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is right, Paul. I mean, unless we could provide the people with whatever protective gear is necessary, I guess I would just have to say, let's wait.
Plus, they'd have to pay for it, wouldn't they?
yeah, they'd have to pay for it. So we'd have to have credit card machine down there or somebody manning the cash register, which we don't have.
I think we keep it the way it is right now.
So Endeavor hasn't done any work inside. They're waiting for the drywall.
Well, we don't have any POS systems or anything like that set up. No.
We're
That's
a long
part of
way.
it. We were in the trailer. We are capable of doing business in the trailer. All we need is people to be in the trailer. We can do whatever we want in the trailer, which would keep people about 2 or 3 feet apart from each other and dealing with any people coming up. And so I guess what I would say is there's Ed Sahm. Nice for you to join us. We're glad to have you. Just going over some other things right now. Can you hear us? Oh, we lost him.
He's back. Let's see his picture.
Ed, you in?
You have your audio on, Ed?
Yeah, I'm in now.
Okay. All right. So I guess where we were, and Ken, you could jump in here if you want. The reason we're doing boat registrations at the marina is because we can keep people separated and we can keep people away from our people. If we go to the trailer situation, I'm not sure we can do that. I think that would take some deliberation and it would take some discussion between Ken and the marina employees.
It's going to take some employees that are feeling comfortable being inside that trailer with each other, and right now they don't.
Well, like Paul said, they're talking 2 or 3 feet away from each other, and they're telling everybody 6 feet.
I see.
Yeah,
They hold on.
Hey, Ed.
Right now.
Hello?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, Blues.
With that said, Ken,
Hello?
with that said, I think we just need to leave it the way it is for now.
Okay. I would agree.
Everybody in agreement with that?
Yeah, I
I
would
agree.
say
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. With
The
that,
only ones in contact are the ones putting the stickers on.
Well, if we start pumping gas, then you're going to be in contact with the people on the boat that's pumping gas. If you're going to, those people have to come up and hand their credit cards to the people that are going to pay for the gas, or bring their cash, give people that are taking the cash, which is some instances not even collectible because it's dirty. And, you know, we're opening up a can of worms here. I mean, at this point, I think we need to go with the flow. If we get to a point where it's disrupting our income and or, I don't know, that's my feeling. I don't feel like we should put our employees in harm's way. I just don't feel like we should do that.
We're not essential.
I agree.
let's go with that one right now.
Okay.
Let's turn the page.
Okay, Paul, you want to introduce Ed?
Paul,
Ed, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. So, keep in mind that this meeting is being recorded. I don't know how it's going to come out, but it's being recorded. And we're going to send this recording hopefully to the community.
Yep.
So the idea here is this will be the first time the community has any type of formal introduction to the concept and or the expressed desire from any kind of restaurateur or business to join our marina building. A couple of years ago, the board, along with the community members, began a series of discussions concerning a deteriorated marina building. And as that building, we all felt that it was not satisfactory, it was not sufficient in serving the community. So therefore, a committee was formed through the direction of our then board president, Charlie Beard, to set up a committee that was made up of a few board members and several community members who were knowledgeable and active in many aspects of the community concerning the marina and its service to all members of our lake community. Fast forward to the selection of Grant Construction to build a design build building for our new marina. During that process, while these committee members met many times with the contractors and architects, designs moved forward. during that process, a restaurateur was recruited to help us with the available space for a kitchen design, which would be part of the future potential restaurant, the Marina building, which would supply us with equipment to have a restaurant and or community activities for fundraisers. After a few design meetings, Ed Sahm from Sam's Restaurant Group out of Indianapolis expressed interest in our space for a restaurant. And let me emphasize here that this was after a couple meetings of a lot of design work, a lot of questions, a lot of answers, a lot of voluntary aspects to this space that would help us for a future building, hopefully, which would not have to be redesigned down the road. And Ed was instrumental in making this process go forward. Now, in the initial meetings, I will admit that I asked Ed if he would have any interest in coming out to Heritage Lake in the future. And his reaction to that question was, no, thank you, but I enjoy helping you out with this process. Well, as time went on and we had more meetings and the space was completely designed, Ed suggested he thinks he's interested in our lake project. And he would be interested in coming and meeting the board and introducing himself with his group. Now, I know a lot about Sam's. I know a lot about their restaurant activity in Indianapolis through mutual restaurant friends and through my own research. Tonight, I'd like to just reintroduce Ed to the board. I introduced Ed to the board in an executive meeting a few weeks ago after our board meeting. And at that time, answer the door. At that time, we had many questions from the board members to Ed about his operations, some of the questions that we thought the community might be asking about a restaurant at Heritage Lake. So I would express to the board members that are attending this meeting right now to ask those questions again after Ed speaks for a while, and for the sake of the community to hear those questions and to hear the answers. So I would ask Ed to, at this time, to introduce himself, give us a little capsule of his background, and really at this point it might even be appropriate during your explanation about your company and your experience and how Heritage Lake might fit with what you're used to doing. Please give us a little bit of present day synopsis on what you're involved in Indianapolis right now with Second Helpings, because I think it's very interesting. And if none of you have seen him on TV in the last few weeks, then you're just not watching some of the shows that I'm watching, which is okay. So Ed, I'm gonna let you have the floor here. Go for it.
Hi, everyone. I want to apologize for being late. I read the email as 8 o'clock, but it said the meeting will last until 8. So that shows you how much I read deeply into messages. So I apologize. So I'm Ed Sahm. I'm original owner of Sam's and the Sam's the restaurant group. I'm the CEO and owner of Sam's and the Big Lug Brewery Group. I opened the original Sam's in 1986. Graduated from Purdue University in Restaurant Hotel School. I took a lot of design classes there as well. So since then, I've designed all the restaurants that we've done and all the floor plans and kitchen design. And so, I gladly helped when Todd Mangley called me from. Todd was my college roommate at Purdue for 4 years. So Todd and I are good friends, and I go way back with Todd. Yeah, we are. I've been in the business for almost 35 years now. We opened, we started our catering company as well in 1987. So we've been catering all these years as well. So we own a brewery group as well called Big Lug, and that's been part of our growth in the last 3 or 4 years has been through the brew pubs and the smokehouse concept. So when we went to helped with the kitchen design, part of the design was to do a smokehouse kind of menu that could feed a nice little pub and dining room inside, and then also feed up to 150, 200 people outside as well. So that is the layout that went in to your clubhouse with the intention of having a lot of people fed in the spring, summer, fall, and then tucked back in the wintertime into a nice little cozy restaurant. So that we have a few spots here in Indianapolis like that. We also just opened in Attica, Indiana at the Harrison Hills Country Club with a smokehouse concept there as well. So as far as the current state of affairs, it's, obviously it's a strange time we're all in. But I kind of saw it coming from, when it hit Italy. I actually canceled my honeymoon plans that we were just getting ready to make. Getting married in May, where we postponed that, but I was getting married in May. And when I saw a case come into Italy, I thought it's going to spread in Italy. And so once it spread in Italy, I knew it was kind of going to come here and do its thing here as well. So we've been preparing for the last month roughly to turn our places into, an outside only, pick up food outside or deliver food. So what we did was we turned our places into grocery store markets, and also we serve family style meals as well in 5 of our locations. And then we converted our downtown One America. We're the food service for One America downtown. It's 450 seats. There's 3,500 people that work in that building. We're One America's food service provider. But when they shut the tower down, we joined forces with Second Helpings to do thousands of meals a day for them. They didn't have the production capacity to feed all the senior citizens and families in need. So last week we made 18,000 meals out of there, and this week we'll make 32,000 meals. So we've basically just switched our operation around to do those, to make those kind of meals and deliver them to these spots, just to keep our people employed. We've laid off probably 60% of our staff, but we've been able to hire back another 15 or 20%. So we're probably at 60% capacity right now to keep making food. And a lot of our neighborhoods, in our areas, we're serving our neighborhood as a kind of a mini grocery store marketplace where you can get bananas and milk and eggs and our family meals like meatloaf and hash brown casserole, and you get pans of that to feed 6 or 8 people at home for a few days, kind of thing. So we have our own bakery, so we've been doing our baked breads as well. Yeah. So that gives you a synopsis of what we do. Any questions?
No, I'd probably at this time, I would suggest that if board members have pertinent questions to ask Ed about obvious questions that might come up from the community. The first one would probably be, this restaurant, if we partnership with the Sahms, this restaurant is going to be a community restaurant, but it's also going to include the outside communities. It's not going to be just for Heritage Lake. A restaurant cannot be sustained by just the members who live at Heritage Lake. In order for this to be successful and be open years down the road, we're going to have to include the outside people. So that would be the first. And, you know, again, there are examples of this. One is Hidden Valley in southern Indiana, which is a community much like Heritage Lake. It's actually a smaller lake, and they've partnered with a restaurateur for the last 9 years, and they have involved the outside people. They opened it up for the first time about 9 or 10 years ago to the public. They have had no problems, and the partnership is very successful, both from an entrepreneur standpoint as far as the restaurateur and the community. There have been no issues. So I'll open with that. And then,
Yeah, Ed, this is Tom Novak.
Hi, Tom.
Hi. You had told us that you have a similar restaurant on the Monon Trail, and you had indicated initially people had apprehensions, but can you just tell us how that has worked out?
Yeah, it's called Half Liter. So we have a Liter House. It's called Liter House also. It's a German style brewery. We brew German beers, Pilsners and lagers, and you know, really drinkable beers. But we also have a German pub inside, and then on the back side we built over the winter of 2017 and 18, we built 2018 and 19, we built and opened Half Liter. It's a barbecue hall on the back side. So it sits on the Monon. It has about 225 seats outside. It has about 190 seats inside. So in the wintertime, we're full and busy, and in the summertime, it's, you know, just packed with people coming off the Monon. So the kitchen is designed in order to, you know, put out a lot of food and drink for that many people. The menu's designed to do those kind of numbers. So this is a minier version of that, obviously, but it could do the 70 or 80 seats inside over the winter easily. You could have a nice staff over the winter time of, you know, 2 or 3 servers on the floor and a couple of cooks, and really run a tight operation with a good core staff. And then in the summertime, you know, hire some seasonal help. And then as far as the ability to serve, you know, another 100 or 150 people come in boats and pulling up at any time of day. Our menu is meant to share, so you'll have you know, barbecue and sandwiches and salads, but it's meant to come out on a tray and everyone gets plates and everyone shares like a family meal kind of thing. It has that capability. You can also get single plates as well, but it does have that ability to feed 10, 12, you know, 15, 20 people at a time very easily. So a lot of restaurants can get bogged down with individual items on menus. It's hard to have sit-down service you go from 80 seats inside to 200 seats with all your outside patio. It's difficult to do that. The concept we have really works from a family service standpoint. So this concept would go well at Heritage Lake, given the fact that the numbers really pop up and go. You know, you go from, you know, a modest, you know, 80-seat restaurant to a 200-seat restaurant in the nice weather, and the service will not drop off. We'll be able to produce food and drink for that many people well.
But you haven't found any difficulty with people dropping in on the Monon Trail? The community.
Oh, no.
The community hasn't
not at all
had any negative reaction to that.
Oh, not at all. It's actually, honestly, it's really it gets tremendous reviews just because it's kind of a social gathering place, so people can meet, grab a table. It's not something that you check inside with the hostess and have to go through a formal process. So it's very casual. It is kind of a meeting spot kind of place where people come from different areas to meet at a table and grab a picnic table and start their meal and their social time together. So it's kind of like their own social hub. Even though it's our business, people feel like it's their own social meeting place. And so I see the same type of environment at Heritage Lake with, you know, especially with you guys all pretty much know each other on the lake, and, you know, meet in the spot at the clubhouse and, you know, throw your stuff down and you know, spend a couple hours on the picnic table, you know, eating and drinking and socializing, and then, you know, get back in your boats and go home kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that's a very important point that you identified. It is a social gathering area, and I think people from outside of our community coming in will appreciate the amenities that we have to offer, and I think it will be a very sociable location.
Oh, I see that. Yeah, I saw that on the map. I mean, I'm pretty good at visualizing things, just from, seeing layouts and seeing buildings and seeing it, so I really saw that, especially sitting there on the point and, and with the ability to, probably have boats pulling up on a pier and that kind of thing. Absolutely. Yes.
And this is Jim. Do you have any kind of sense or a model to go by that could tell you what, and I'm not asking any kind of commitment or anything, but what you think revenue might be and how all that relates?
Yeah. Yes. I've got similar sized places, I would say, enough to get pretty close. I get pretty close on my pro formas when I do these layouts, and how much we'll do at lunch and how much we'll do at dinner and how much we'll do on the weekends and those kind of things, depending on, what the seats. So I have quite a few 100-seat places, 110-seat places. I have some that are 100 seats with 100 seats outside. So that's a very similar this. So yeah, I can get pretty close to the revenue projections in a full year.
What would you think those might be?
I would say in the first year, full year, I'd say between $1 million and $1.2 million a year. So between 20 to 22,000 a week. There'll be some weeks in the summertime that'll be 32,000, and there'll be some weeks in the wintertime that'll be 14,000. But over the course of the good weather and the cold weather, it'll probably wind up being between $1 million and $1.2 million in revenue a year.
Yeah, this is Tom.
Now we're going to cater. We'll also cater out of there as well. So, we do a lot of catering. I mean, we do a lot of catering. So we'll go in and put our catering menu out to the area, to the county and everything. So we'll generate revenue, not just rely on the lake to generate revenue. We'll also, keep people busy in the kitchen and keep revenues going to, go to Greencastle or, go to Danville or cater in that area. I like to say we're raging capitalists. We'll go grab sales wherever we can and be aggressive because, that helps keep good staffing on, helps keep the bills paid, helps keep, everything flowing in a revenue side, which, revenue kind of cures everything, and when you have good revenues, you can operate in a pretty high functioning fashion, fixing things and keeping things up and paying your help well and that kind of thing.
Yeah, this is Tom again, and one thing that it shows by your working with Second City or Second Helping, how community-minded you are. One thing that has happened at the marina is our different groups will put on like a breakfast where they might bring their stock pots and serve breakfast, somewhere between 8 to 11 o'clock. How do you see that fitting in with you?
We easily help to facilitate that. I mean, we help cook pancakes. We, help cook eggs. Absolutely. I mean, we have our, doors open to help fundraisers of any kind, firefighters or, church fundraisers, whatever. I mean, we'll be up for any of that to assist. Yeah. And if you guys have been doing it for the history of it, absolutely. Let's just keep that going and help to. I mean, we don't want it all. I mean, but we are here to feed people. So we are here to, we're good at making lots of food and making it easy on people. So absolutely, we can assist in any of those fundraisers you guys might have. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Anyone else have a question?
The only other question that I've heard from other folks in the community, and I think everybody on the board has heard it, is a question about alcohol. Will we be supplying alcohol? I heard Ed mention a pub. I just about that.
Yeah, the intention is to have a 12 or 14 seat pub, and then we have a brewery, 2 breweries in town, locations called Big Luck. So we brew our own beer. We can our own beer. It's well received. So we would bring that beer to Heritage Lake and have that be part of what we serve. But it would be a full bar, I would anticipate. Excuse me.
Freeway, Ed, would you try to get would you use a 3-way or just?
Yes, we would do a 3-way. Excuse me. Right now in our markets, we're selling a lot of, our canned beer. We can 8 or 10 varieties of beer. So we'll sell about a 6-packer case, and we would do the same there. It's really good American lagers. It's good Matches Ultra, Coors Light, or whatever you guys might drink. Budweiser, we make really good lagers and pilsners.
I want to get to, I think, what really, and Jeff, you can correct me if I'm, the core question you're asking. Ed, is this opportunity viable without alcohol?
I would say no. Not from the way we would do it. No, it would not be. No.
Okay. Jeff, was that really what you were asking?
Yeah, I think that summed it up, Jim. Thanks.
Now we would have, we are not interested in being a late night place or anything like that. So we would have, last calls be fairly early. We wouldn't want to stay out till the sun dropped in the summertime, but at the same time, it wouldn't be, we would probably close at 9:30 during the wintertime, and call it a day. So we're not looking to be that place where people hang out and drink cheap beer. That's not what we are.
Ed, this is Tom again. Back to Jim's question. Do you think it could be viable if it would be alcohol without carryout?
Yeah, probably. To me, I'm not sure. The carryout part is, kind of a service to the lake kind of thing. So if people could get, beer to take it back home and stuff, on their boat, from their boat back to the house, that would be obviously an amenity for the lake. And I know, not everybody drinks, and I get that, and that's, that's completely fine. But for the service to the community and stuff, I would think that would be something you would want.
Do you have any models for rent, revenue share only, things like that?
Yeah, we've got revenue share with One America, where we make these plans, these financial plans to have a break-even point, to where we break even and can at least get to where our operations can pay for the necessary costs, and then share in revenues above that volume point, whatever that looks like. So we could do a projection of that and do a revenue share kind of thing. Honestly, for me, we've been in business a long time with a lot of people. So, I have probably 8 operations that have been open more than 20 years. All of them, we've never closed a restaurant, other than recently we had to, shut a few down temporarily. But we've never, closed a restaurant. So over the years, and that's just being good partners with, our vendors, our landlords, So what we do is try to hit the middle point of, you're happy, we're happy. If feel like we're making too much on the relationship, at some point that relationship's going to sour. If you guys are making too much on me, at some point that relationship will sour. So there's really a right in the middle kind of sweet spot, and we've had enough experience to see what that sweet spot is in a 10 or 15 year cycle. So because we're in this thing, honestly, I open these things and I do these things to be in business forever, honestly. So we want to have it be a place where you guys don't have to worry about it, the operator, and we can be a part of that community for years to come. So that means we're going to price things fairly, pay our people well, so that we have a good staff, and and make sure you guys get taken care of as well. So I think we can come up with something that looks good for everyone.
Again, asking for no commitments. With a revenue model of $1.2 million in year one, what would something like that look like in terms of revenue share to the community?
I would anticipate probably 70,000 to, rough anywhere between 60 and 85, 90,000 of payments and throughout the year.
How's that work? Is it like a end of year thing, or is it an ongoing month?
No, it'd be monthly.
Okay.
It'd be monthly.
After you get your net figured out, then you just.
Yeah, for sure. Some months, it'd be 4,000, some months it'd be 8 or 10, it just, on the busy month, there'd be obviously more, we're making more, so we share more kind of thing.
Got it. Thank you.
Ed, this is Rick. I have a question. When we met some time ago, you mentioned about the employees that be working for you. Could you talk about that a little bit, about their living arrangements and those kind of things?
Yeah, I mean, we always try to find someone who's obviously in the business and knows the business, lives preferably on the lake or near the lake. So we would try to find something if we were going to have someone move there. We would try to find a house nearby that they could either rent or purchase. Maybe they rent the first year and then purchase after that kind of thing. So we want our managing partners to be entrenched in the community. We want them to have their kids go to school around there. We want them to, truly be a part of the community, find a church they want to go to around there and those kind of things that we want to have them become, an integral part of the community. So we'll find living arrangements if we need to for that person and our core staff as well.
You looking for a job, Rick?
Go ahead, Paul.
Looking for a job, Rick?
No, Ed had mentioned that prior. I just wanted to make sure everyone.
That was just a joke.
Because I was very impressed with, he wanted people to live in the community that worked for him there.
Yes, absolutely. That's critical. I mean, if you look at all of our places, most of our managers live within a block of where they work. So, I mean, I want them walking to work and, being a part, and it may sound strange, like you're going to be tied to the place, but actually you get to have a better family life the closer you live to the restaurant. You can go home in the afternoon and see your kid and, do those kind of things and come back and work the lunch shift, come back and work the night shift, and actually spend less time at work, but actually spend better, more quality time at work and at home as well. So it tends to work out pretty well.
You had mentioned that earlier, and I was very impressed with that, Ed. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
What about time frame to get things up and running once the marina is complete?
Well, I mean, honestly, I can tell you within 15 days normally, but I can't tell you now. So I don't know what this the virus is going to do and what it's going to, as far as the impact of whether we can open again in whatever fashion. But as soon as that clears, then we can have we won't have a stoppage again. Yeah, I mean, we'd be ready sometime this summer. And whenever the clubhouse is ready, but I can't really say anything, I can't commit to anything right now, obviously, because it's just such a great unknown. I mean, we'll be back open on the other side of this. I've got good relationship with my bank and our landlords that we have. And so, you're seeing a lot of places are struggling and closing and may not reopen. And that's just not us. We'll be out on the other side of this thing, doing the restaurant thing again when we get to go back out and do this again. I mean, we are doing restaurant work inside of our buildings and making meals and doing that thing, but we're just not, we're not a full service restaurant at this point.
Anybody else have any more questions that might pertain to what our community would have as a question right now that you'd like to get out there? We hope depending, of course, on this virus and where we go from here, we hope to we hope to have Ed at the next board meeting. Whether that meeting is going to be a Zoom meeting or whether it's going to be a open board meeting, but we would probably like to have Ed come to that board meeting so that maybe community members, I assume if we send out a recording or figure that out, that we could have questions come from the community following that board meeting. You guys have any more questions for Ed?
Is it possible that we might use our website to send out, if you would, an invitation for questions on this topic to our community? I don't know. What does anybody think about that?
I think since we did tell the community that they, you know, they were going to have input and be able to discuss it with board members and with, I think some way to get them to ask questions, would be allowed to ask questions. If we did another Zoom meeting, I had to send Rick a message to unmute me, and he sent me something back. Is there a way to do Zoom meetings where the public can actually send somebody a message during the meeting and it could actually be asked right then?
Well, yes. I mean, you have a chat feature on, and basically Rick could mute and eliminate video on people. So
I'd be welcome. I mean, I'd welcome questions, but via email, and I can answer them via email up until then. That's fine. It's fine.
Hey, Polly, you want to let Eddie go?
How can it be 250,000 when our assessment budget is 650,000?
What? What?
Say that
Hey,
again.
Cannon, you unmuted yourself, buddy.
I don't understand that question.
I think it pertained to something else. Ken, are you there?
Yes.
Did you ask a question about 250,000?
No.
I actually thought it was Rick. I thought it was Rick Miller's voice.
Yeah, I did too.
No, it was Ken.
What was the $250,000 question? Whoever asked that? Oh, well.
I don't know who done that.
Okay, so how about if we do this? How about if we let Ed go? I know he's a busy guy, and I will send out some information after I talk to some of you, and I'll talk to Rick Miller and figure out how we're going to get to the next point. In the meantime, we'll put a recording. We'll put this out to the community, and maybe that will generate some interest in the community, and we will also put out an email telling the community that we will entertain questions for our restaurateur, and we will entertain questions for the board during this time of Zoom meetings and emails and what have you, and then we'll go from there. How's that?
Sounds
I
good.
will any board decisions and any meetings from this point on concerning a restaurant, I will include you, Ed, so that you know what we're thinking and you know our path.
So, Paul, if you could just establish a central email in your notice that you put out to the public, so we get emails all in one place, and then at our meeting, we could review them.
Okay.
Ed, thanks for your time.
Thank you,
sure.
Ed.
All right.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Thanks, Ted.
Okay. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Any reaction?
Huh?
Seems like a good idea.
I think it's a great idea, and I think we need to decide on this call. There will not be a meeting at the clubhouse for the April meeting with the circumstances we're under today, no more than 10 people.
Yeah.
I
We
agree.
need to do a Zoom thing with the board. If we can figure out how we can add the community on with Ed Miller and you,
Rick Miller.
I don't know if we can do that. I know with this thing here, I think there's a number limitation on how many we can do on what we're doing tonight.
We'll get something figured out, I'm sure.
Okay, well, I think we need to put out, Ken, a notice that we will not be having a show up meeting at the clubhouse. Maybe wait a day or two, and if Grant and Rick and everybody can get figured out, Tom, on how we can do a meeting like this with the membership or record it and get it out. One of those two options have to happen, I think.
Okay.
Does everybody agree with that?
Yeah,
Yes.
Rick.
Yeah, this is Rick. I am recording, and soon after this meeting, I'll send that recording to Grant so that he can post it in his normal venue. And if you guys want my help in the future, I'm absolutely happy to do that. If you want to take it over, do it yourself with someone else hosting, it won't hurt my feelings. So do what you think is right.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to take you up on your offer to set these up. It worked perfect. This went great tonight, and I want to thank everybody for showing up, and I think it went very well.
Hey, Rick,
Yes.
do you want me to work on some sort of shortened shortened agenda, just so we'll have a little bit of structure?
Yes.
You know, eliminate the committees and all that kind of stuff. But
Yes.
okay, I'll work on that.
If you wouldn't mind.
Ken, when
And
you
I-
have
Not
it,
at all.
Ken, when you
Yes.
have it, if you share it with me, I can display that agenda during the online meeting.
Okay.
Hey, Ken, when you get it to me, and then you and I can talk about it, and we'll get it out to the board after that, once we decide if we want to tweak it or not.
Okay.
Yeah, regarding people not being able to, I think it would work out very well for emails. We could read the emails on the air, and we could answer the questions that the emails address on the air. So I think email notification from members would be a good opportunity. All we need to do is get a central location.
Okay, and Paul, did I hear Paul say he was going to do that?
Yeah, I would suggest at this point that as far as a central email for people to react or ask their questions would be the HOA. I mean,
Yeah, we got an HLPOA at ccrtc.com that is kind of a central email.
that's good. Okay. So I would suggest that at this point, we send out an email, and Grant, please let us know when we're ready to send this out to the community. And we should probably send out an email prior to that saying that our meeting is going to be able to be viewed or listened to by the community. Does that sound?
If I post it first, I can give you the link so then you can send it out on the email.
Okay.
Okay.
So I could post it, get it, and then once the email comes out, make it live for everyone. If you want.
That's fine.
Okay.
And we'll use the HLPOA's email address, that particular email to send this out? Okay, great. Yeah, sure. Sounds good to me. Anybody have a problem with that?
I don't have a problem with it at all, Paul. But if people want to send emails to individual board members, that would be fine too, I would think. I think all of our email addresses are on the page.
You know, if you get an individual email, you could forward that to the HLPOA. That way they're all
Right.
consolidated.
Yeah, that's
a
fine.
good idea. I think then if we have it in one place like that, then there's accountability on everybody's part.
Yeah, if you'd go to one place, you could consolidate it, the same questions.
Well, why don't we just agree as a board that if we get individual email questions from anybody in the community, that we forward those to that email address so that they will be collected communally.
Yes.
Sounds good.
That's a
Well,
good
That's a
approach.
good idea before the meeting to actually go over the questions.
We
No,
can do
that's
that.
Get some duplicates and
Good point.
stuff that's off the wall. So
Well, maybe the Marina Committee,
put them
maybe the
together.
Marina Committee could go through those questions.
That's fine.
Would be a good thing to do. So
Either way, I'm fine with either way. The Marina Committee could go through them and have them all ready. That'd be fine.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Tom, could you coordinate? You were on the Marina Committee?
Yeah, myself and, well, I think Paul is the head of it, the chair, so
Okay.
if he wants my help, I'd be more than available.
That sound okay,
Thank
Paul?
you. Yes.
Okay.
I make a motion to adjourn.
second.
All in favor?
Third. Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Thank you. Thanks.
Good to see you
everybody for
guys.
that. I appreciate
Good to
it.
see you guys. Keep your families safe.
Be safe.
Stay indoors.
Wash your hands.
Okey doke.
I gotta wash my
Wash
face
your
now.
hands once a week.
Goodbye.